For medical and religious exemptions, no one has been fired for refusing to comply.
Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, they are up and running again today, but those social media sites went down for about 6 hours today. The question is why, and more importantly, what a terrible week it's been so far for Facebook. Cybersecurity expert Rick Jordan is up late with us here live on Fox 5. So let's talk first of all, Rick, because there's a lot to get to. We don't have a lot of time. What happened today?
Today, there was a huge misconfiguration, is what we call it in our industry. Pretty much somebody internally screwed up. They were trying to make an update. This is the latest that we have. They were trying to make an update to their systems as far as how to find Facebook on the internet, and they completely deleted the information instead. So it's like Facebook was wiped off the internet map.
And obviously, I think, judging by the headlines these days, some people saw something like that happening. And you see what occurred last night on 60 Minutes, where you had a whistleblower from Facebook who sort of exposed these internal documents. And when you look at that and you look at this, there were a lot of people who immediately believed there was some correlation there.
They would think, yeah, because we've seen a lot of these. And at first, in my industry, I'm thinking, oh, maybe there was a hack, right? Because we saw the Kaseya breach earlier this year. That was timed over the holidays. We thought that maybe this was timed right by some e-crime group or something like that, or even an internal threat within Facebook itself. Turns out this was just a really stupid mistake. And it's similar to what happened with Microsoft about a year and a half ago at the beginning of 2020 when somebody messed up and exposed 250 million records to the dark web.
So with all of this going on, and again, you see the speculation. I mean, Twitter was on fire today because it really was the only thing that seemed to be working.
They struggled too a little bit because so many people were hitting at the same time.
Yeah. So for people who were affected by this today, and I know that the two aren't connected, but clearly when you hear of something like this happening, a lot of people will wonder, well, was any of my information at risk? It doesn't seem like in this situation that's the case, but it's still the things that go through our minds these days.
It is, you're right. And I'm still tracking some pre-information here that says that 1.5 billion Facebook records were leaked to the dark web during this as well. I don't know yet, and nobody really knows if that's actually correlated at this point. But you were dead on. That would make a really, really bad week for Facebook. And I think Zuckerberg lost $7 billion in his net worth or something like that today. It was pretty rough for him, too. But you're right. We have the whistleblower yesterday, a lot of bad information, the 7-hour outage today. And if this turns out to be true with 1.5 billion records leaked to the dark web, it's a really bad week. Yeah,
well, obviously, as you mentioned, that was still one of the reports that came out, but there's still a lot of correlation and confirmation that has to go through this process here.
Sure.
Rick, before we let you go, what's the takeaway from this? I mean, if it can happen to Facebook, it really just shows that one little mistake can cause an incredible ripple effect.
Yeah, these systems are systems that have been in place for a while, and they're autonomous, meaning that they just kind of trust each other by default. And so when Facebook says, here, we're updating our information, how to find us, and all the internet autonomous, the AI bots that are out there say, okay, no problem, we'll trust you. That's an outdated system at this point, and we need some overhaul. But this is what the whole world uses, man. It's a little crazy at this point, so who knows where it's going to go. But obviously, this shed a light on some pretty serious vulnerabilities.
Yeah, no doubt. Rick Jordan from Reach Out Technology. Hey, I appreciate the insight tonight. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks, Jim.
You got it.